Read Bismillah. So you got there Bismillah wada'a bima yashbahu alfaz al-Qur'ani. I got wada'a bima yashbahu alfaz al-Qur'ani. What you got? Okay, wada'a bima sha'a bima yashbahu alfaz wal-Aadiel Mutharaит. Okay. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. So we're discussing the Qa'ada Akhira. Briefly again, the Qa'ada Ula is the first Qa'ada which comes in the second rakat, in the third rakat or fourth rakat namaz. And the Qa'ada Akhira is the last Qa'ada, whether it is a third rakat namaz or a fourth rakat namaz, the last Qa'ada. So we recited that to sit in tashahud, to sit in that position. We done the proofs in detail. To sit in that position of tashahud is farz, we done that, right? And to recite the tashahud itself, that is wajib, we done that, right? Then we said to recite durood, right? That is not wajib. So if a person after reciting the tashahud, he completes his salah, etc., then we won't say there's any penalty. So to recite the durood is not wajib, right? And then as Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala said, to recite the durood is wajib. In fact, what Imam Shafi said is to recite the tashahud is farz, and we gave you the proof. إِذَا قُلْتَ هَذَا أَوْ فَعَلْتَ هَذَا, we gave you the proof. And then also Imam Shafi said to recite the durood is also farz, right? Then we said, and he used this verse here, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا صَلُّوا عَلَيْهِ وَسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. So we said, then we explained that this verse here, that no, this means that according to some ulama, like I said there, just once in your lifetime at least, because Amr is al-amru laysa li-takrar. You done this, mashallah, in your usul shashi. Al-amru laysa li-takrar. Amr is not for repetition. Once you do it one time, then is, you fulfill the obligation, etc. So that we done that explanation. إما مرة واحدا كما قال الكرخي أو كلما, or the verse would mean every time the name of the Nabi is mentioned. So we say it doesn't refer to salah, it refers to out of salah. It refers to out of salah, right? So كما اختار الطحاوي, like how Imam Tahawi writes it, فكفينا مؤنة الأمر. So we have been sufficed with the obligation of the we can say we've been sufficed with the result of the Amr, that is by either reciting it one time in your life or reciting it every time the name of the Nabi is mentioned. It does not mean that it's farz to recite every time in Salah. You understood that? وَالْفَرْضُ الْمَرْوِيُّ فِي التَّشَهُدِ وَالتَّقْدِيرُ. Then we said that وَالْفَرْضُ, that where he said you must recite the tashahud there, we say that it doesn't come in the meaning of farz, but rather comes in the meaning of that this has been fixed and this has been what you have to do, etc. Like how you're saying, please do this, please do that. It's just apportioning something, right? So we discussed that the setting, so three things: the setting, which is farz; the recitation of the tashahud, which is wajib. We explained you several times. Then we discuss in detail the recitation of durood. It's not mentioned in the kitab, but the preferred durood and the best durood, not only in salah, but generally there are many hadith that show that the best durood is that durood Ibrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. So that is the best durood in salah and even out of salah. It's a long durood, but it's the most virtuous durood. Today is Friday also. Allah Ta'ala give us a tawfiq to recite abundant durood. So now the last thing which you have to do before you make the salam, right, is to make dua also. And here also they're going to give you some rules and some zawabit or some guidelines with regards to the du'as, right? What type of du'as can you make? I did mention to you, right? I did mention to you that you can make dua, but not with the kalamun nas, right? Not with the words of the people, what people use in the everyday words. وَدَعَا بِمَا يَشْبَهُ أَلْفَاظَ الْقُرْآنِ وَالْأَدْيَةَ الْمَعْثُورَةَ. So you will make dua بما يشبه ألفاظ القرآن, with words that resemble the Quran, right? والأدعية المأثورة, and the narrated du'as. So I was telling you, you can't say, there, Allah Ta'ala, get me married to this lady, or get me married to that lady, Allah Ta'ala, give me a Porsche, Allah Ta'ala, give me a Ferrari, Allah Ta'ala, give me a new house. Not that type of words, you understood? So, لما روينا من حديث ابن مسعود, because of what has been narrated from the hadith of Ibn Mas'ud, قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said, اختر من الدعاء أطيبها. They choose from the du'as the best one, وأعجبها إليك, and that which is most pleasing towards you, right? So ويبدأ بالصلاة على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ليكون أقرب الإجابة. So that, and also he will start the dua by reciting durud and salam upon Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam liyakun aqrab al-ijaba, so that it will be closer to acceptance. So see, even though here we're speaking about salah, but this is a very important thing. That here, what this Sahib Hidaayah is saying is that if you start your dua, whatever dua you're making, first recite durud and salam upon Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's why you see, there's certain hadith that suggests you must start your dua with tahmid, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, right? And then there are certain hadith that suggest you must start your dua with durud or salam. That is why you see how ulama, they merge between the two. They use, notice, you see they say, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen, was salatu was salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. So there are two hadith. Certain hadith suggest start your dua with what? I'm not speaking about now in particular in salah. I'm speaking about general dua. Whatever dua you're making after your salah, before maghrib on a Friday, whatever. So there's two hadith. Certain hadith suggest start your dua with tahmid, and certain hadith suggest start your dua with durud and salam upon Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So our ulama have merged the two together. So we make amal on both. We make amal upon both, and we say like this here. We say this is how we merge between the two. That alhamdulillah rabbil alameen was salatu was salamu ala ashrafil anbiya al mursaleen. So this is how we make amal upon both. So here also in your salah you do that same thing, right? And I told you the best durud is Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Now the interesting thing is this: why do we say that your dua will be readily accepted if you precede it with durud and salam? Why will it be readily accepted? Because see, durud is such a blessed action. Durud is such a blessed action. Allah Ta'ala loves Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam so much. He's the most beloved of the creation of Allah Ta'ala, right? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the most beloved of the creation of Allah Ta'ala. So when you send durud upon Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, today is Friday, let us increase our durud, then most definitely the durud will be accepted. So if the durud is accepted, then obviously the dua will also be accepted. How can the durud be accepted and the dua not be accepted, right? And on this, that's why Haji Farooq Rahmatullah used to say always, that if you want your dua to be accepted, put your dua in a box of durud. What does it mean, put your dua in a box of durud? What does a box do? A box surrounds something. A box is on top of something. A box is the bottom of something. A box is on the right of something. A box is on the left of something. So what he's saying, start your dua with durud and then finish your dua with durud. Like I told you, said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wal aqibatu lil muttaqeen was salatu was salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Can you make your dua Rabbana hab lana min azwajina, whatever? When you finish, you say wa sallallahu ala nabiyil ummi, whatever durud. So put your dua in a durud box, and then inshallah it will be readily accepted. On the same strain, through the barakat of durud, to show that durud is always accepted, right? Ulama say when you make isalu sawab, anybody you want to make isalu sawab for, you want to make isalu sawab for your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, whatever. Ulama say same thing, employ the same principle. Firstly, you say, Ya Allah Ta'ala, this which I've recited, or the sadaqah that I've given, send the reward to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then you say, send it to my father, send it to my grandfather, send it to my marhum husband, send it to my Ustad Aadiel Moosagie, inshallah. You do when I die, inshallah. You send for me anything, or you won't send for me. You send, inshallah. Right? So you say first. So because you put Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's name first, it will definitely be acceptable. So it's not possible that Allah Ta'ala is going to accept the Iyasalu Thawab for Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and He's going to reject the one that you're sending for your beloved, whether it is your wife or your husband, whatever. So because it is coupled with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that part is guaranteed is going to be acceptable. So like how you say when the train, when the carriage is attached to the engine of the train, when wherever the engine go, the carriage will also go, isn't it? Because the carriage is attached to the train. So same thing, you're going to attach your Isalu Thawab or your dua to the name of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and if Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is the beloved of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, is definitely going to be accepted. So if it's going to be definitely accepted, then inshallah your dua will also be definitely be accepted, and your Isalu Thawab will also definitely be accepted, inshallah. We carry on reading, inshallah. So like ولا يدعو بما يشبه كلام الناس تحرزا عن الفساد. You will not in your salah, you cannot make dua with that which resembles kalam الناس, the speech of the people. Like I told you, Allah Ta'ala give me a Ferrari, Allah Ta'ala give me, I want to marry this particular rich lady here, make me marry her, etc., etc. That is kalam الناس تحرزا عن الفساد, to protect your salat being from corrupted, because you may use inappropriate words, you may ask something inappropriate, etc. So that's why we say the safest وَلِهَذَا يَأْتِي بِالْمَأْثُورَةِ الْمَحْفُوظَةِ. So that's why we say you will bring the protected, narrated du'as, right? So what is like in the Hanafis, what's the dua we read after Durud Ibrahim? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad kama sallit ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. What's the dua we read after that? Right. So there's the one we read, the Shafis read a different one. But from here, from the text, you can see it's no hard and fast rule. Anyone, you can even say, if a person don't know the dua, you can say, Rabbana atina fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azab an-nar. Anything from the Quran, anything from the Hadith. Allahumma waffiqna lima tuhibbu wa tarda min al-qawli wal fi'li wal niyyati wal had. So from this text here, you learn any of the masnoon du'as that is proven from the Quran, any Allahumma ghfirli wa li walidayya, etc. Right? Anything. Right. So ولهذا يأتي بالمأثور المحفوظ وما لا يستحيل سواله من العباد. So this text here is a bit complicated. Not complicated. Like I told you, I will start saying this method is a peachy here. There's two negatives. Two negatives makes a positive. You understand what I'm saying? So وما لا يستحيل. Yastahilu means to be impossible, right? So la yastahilu means not to be impossible. So what it means? So you say wama la yastahilu, and that which it is possible to ask from the people. So in other words, you will not bring wama. The first one is ma. You will not make dua. You understood that? So see, you got three negatives there actually. There's a nice question for the imtihan. There's three negatives. Ma is negative, la is negative, and istahala means to be impossible. That's why sometimes, like you see when you're in Arabic, when you ask somebody to do something, you say, mustahil. No, it's impossible. I can't do that. So see, look nicely. Ma is negative, la is negative, and yastahil is negative. So let's take the two negatives there, the la yastahil, and let's make that into a positive, because two negatives make a positive, isn't it? And we keep the one negative there, right? So wama, you will not make dua, right? Ma la yastahilu, for that which is possible to ask it from the servants. So that thing which you can ask from a human being, you won't make dua like that. I gave you like that. Like I told you, Allahumma zawijni fulanatan. Oh Allah Ta'ala, make me marry Fatima. She's very pretty, she's very rich, etc. So you can't use that word, right? So Allahumma right? Allahumma zawijni fulanatan. Why? Because yashbahu kalamahum. It resembles what it terms kalamun nas. Or like I told you, Allah Ta'ala, give me a bicycle, give me a Ferrari. Then wa ma yastahilu. So here you got ma yastahilu, and that which it is impossible, right? كقوله, so you'll make dua which that is impossible to ask from the people, right? I know in the Christian religion, they have what they call this thing, the confession booth. You go to the booth and you go to the priest and you say, "Oh Father, forgive me for my sins," etc., etc. In Islam, there's no such thing. In Islam, the only person that forgives is who is Allah Ta'ala forgive. Yes, you can ask somebody to make dua to forgive you, right? So this is the difference between the Christian religion and the Islamic religion. In Islam, only Allah Ta'ala forgives. In the Christian, I think in Catholicism, and you saw that maybe in Na'udhubillah, maybe in Ayyam Jahiliyyah, you saw on the TV or something, how the person goes, Allah Ta'ala protect us. He says in the booth, say, "Father, forgive me, I done this sin, I done that sin." In Islam, there's no such thing. In Islam, only Allah Ta'ala forgives. Yes, two things you can do is you can say, "Ya Allah Ta'ala," you can ask another person that make dua that Allah Ta'ala forgive me for all my sins. Like I ask you, make dua, Allah Ta'ala forgive me for all my sins. Or the other thing is tawassul. Tawassul is where you're also asking from Allah Ta'ala, but you're using the pious person, Ya Allah Ta'ala, because of your love, because of the great maqam of this person, yeah, forgive me my sins. So you are still asking from Allah Ta'ala. So they're saying, yeah, and that which it is impossible to ask from human beings, that you must make dua in your salah, right? Like what? كقوله, like the statement, Allahumma ghfirli. Oh, Allah Ta'ala, forgive me. So you can't ask a person that, "Oh, you forgive me for my sins," whatever, right? So laysa min kalamihim. This is not from kalamun nas. It is not from the speech of people, right? Right? So I tell you, وَقَوْلُ اللَّهُمَّ ارْزُقْنِي مِنْ قَبِيلِ الْأَوَّلِ لِإِسْتِعْمَالِهِمَا فِيمَا بَيْنَ الْعِبَادِ. So they're saying, Allahumma ارْزُقْني, Allah Ta'ala, give me some type of sustenance. This is from the first type, which is وَمَا لَا يَسْتَحِيلُ. I told you, you got that which is possible to ask from the people. Why? Right? من الأول لاستعمالهما فيما بين العباد. Because sometimes this word razaqa is also used amongst people. Like يقال, like in Arabic, he said, رزق الأمير الجيش. That the Amir provided the resources, he provided the sustenance for the army. So that is from Kalamun Nas. So you won't use that as well. So simple words is anything which is from the Quran or it resembles the Quran, right? So that which from the Quran, from the Hadith, and it doesn't resemble the words of the people, that is fine. You can use that. But that which resembles the words of the people, you can't use that. Okay, let's stop there, inshallah. So we've almost come to the end of Salah. The only next thing now is the Salam. That's the last thing which remains, inshallah. We'll discuss it on Monday. May Allah Ta'ala accept it. May Allah Ta'ala make it a means of our forgiveness. May Allah Ta'ala make it a means of our shifa. Now we will switch over, inshallah Ta'ala, to the tafsir.